Have you ever looked back at a relationship and realized the signs were there all along? I have. There was a time when I kept convincing myself everything was fine. The replies became shorter. The conversations felt forced. Plans started getting canceled more often. But I kept telling myself they were just busy. I wasn't reading what was actually happening. By the time I accepted the truth, the attraction had already faded. That experience made me obsessed with one question. Do people actually reveal they're losing attraction before they admit it? So I started reading behavioral psychology, relationship research, and studies on nonverbal communication. I wanted to understand whether attraction disappears all at once, or if the mind begins showing clues long before the words do. What I discovered completely changed the way I read people's behavior. Because the truth is this: people rarely wake up one morning and suddenly lose attraction. Their behavior changes first. If you know what to watch for, you'll often notice those changes before they ever say, "I don't feel the same anymore." Let's get into it. Sign 1. Curiosity begins to fade. One of the earliest changes isn't what they say, it's what they stop asking. When someone feels emotionally invested in you, they naturally want to know what's happening in your life. How was your day? How did your interview go? Did you enjoy your trip? Curiosity is a sign of emotional investment. As attraction weakens, that curiosity slowly disappears. The conversations become practical instead of personal. They're still talking to you, but they stop trying to know you. That shift is usually much more important than people realize. Sign 2. Their attention feels different. Most people think attraction is measured by compliments. It isn't. It's measured by attention. Someone who genuinely enjoys your company notices small details. They remember things you mentioned days ago. They react when something changes about you. But when attraction starts fading, attention becomes inconsistent. You begin repeating yourself. They seem mentally somewhere else. Even when they're sitting next to you, it feels like they're not really present. Psychologists often describe attention as one of the clearest indicators of emotional investment. Where attention goes, emotion usually follows. Sign 3. They stop creating opportunities to see you. Think back to someone who was excited to spend time with you. They found reasons. They suggested plans. They stayed a little longer. When attraction declines, something subtle changes. They rarely initiate. Plans become less frequent. Everything starts depending on you making the effort. It's not always because they're busy. Sometimes their motivation has simply changed, and motivation quietly reveals attraction better than words ever can. Sign 4. Their body language becomes closed. Words can hide emotions. Body language struggles too. Someone who enjoys being around you usually faces you naturally. They lean in. Eye contact feels effortless. Their posture stays open. But as attraction fades, their body often creates distance before their words do. Less eye contact, more crossed arms, turning slightly away during conversations, stepping back instead of closer. These signals don't prove someone has lost attraction by themselves, but when several appear together over time, they deserve your attention. Sign 5. Your presence stops feeling special. This is probably the hardest sign to accept. When attraction is strong, people usually become excited by your presence. Your messages matter. Your attention feels valuable. Your time feels important. But when attraction fades, your presence becomes expected instead of appreciated. The excitement disappears. The emotional energy changes. It's not that they suddenly dislike you. It's simply that the emotional spark no longer creates the same response, and that difference can often be felt before it's ever spoken. Final thoughts. One mistake I used to make was searching for one obvious sign, one message, one conversation, one moment that would tell me everything. Human psychology doesn't work like that. Attraction usually changes through patterns, small behaviors repeated over time. No single sign can tell you exactly how someone feels. But when several of these changes happen consistently, it's worth paying attention. Because the people who are losing attraction often reveal it long before they admit it. The question is, will you notice the pattern before it's too late? If you enjoy learning the psychology behind attraction, relationships, and human behavior, subscribe because there's a lot more to uncover.